Hi there. This is our second probability lesson and our last probability lesson. There's only such a short amount that we're going to cover in our class. And our first objective for the second probability lesson is using Venn diagrams. There's that gray highlighter again. Let me get the yellow. We're going to use Venn diagrams to illustrate events and their relationships. Today, we're going to have multiple events happening at the same time. And what we need to understand and determine is, are these events connected in any way, or can they share the same outcome? And a great visual that helps us determine this are Venn diagrams. You have two different events. That's what these circles represent. And should these events have an overlap, it represents the possibility of these events happening at the same time. It is just a great visual. I mean, it really does help clarify what kind of probability we are going to be calculating. So that's the first objective. We need to be able to identify when or what types of events can happen simultaneously. Let's go ahead and label these events as either A, events that share outcomes or can happen at the same time, or B, events that never share an outcome. Okay, A or B. Let's go ahead and start with rolling a six-sided die. Six-sided dies have one side dedicated to a number. Whatever you land on, there's no way that you can get two values, right? When you roll a die. And we're not talking about crazy events where it lands on its side, just your typical die landing on a flat table. Winning or losing a game, can those things happen at the same time? Not necessarily. You can get a tie, but there's a definitive you won or you lost. How about winning or losing a game and scoring? That's something that can happen, right? You could be really close in a game and you could have scored just as many or just slightly under points and then lose at the very last minute. So this is an event or events that share outcomes. Turning left or turning right, there is no way you can do those simultaneously. Those do not share an outcome. Running or walking. Don't say jogging as a thing, because if you were to really compare what running looks like versus walking, those are not the same thing. Humming and walking. You can do those both at the same time. Those are events that share an outcome. Running and sweating. Maybe you're somebody who doesn't sweat that much, but it's not impossible to run and sweat simultaneously. Okay, so these are all examples of events that either share an outcome or cannot happen or not share an outcome altogether. So events that happen simultaneously have the overlapping Venn diagram, whereas events that cannot share outcomes are separate events with nothing shared. Okay. Thank you for watching. I will see you in class.